More and more we are finding that this work cannot be done by government alone. The elements and roles that philanthropy in particular can play is to help seed some of the more breakthrough innovations that the government and or the community want to test and pilot. There are a lot of great ideas out there. It is often more difficult for government to invest in those great ideas if they're not yet proven than to continue to invest in the people and the infrastructure and the work that they know they need to get done already. And that's where we're really hopeful that with the support of national foundations and philanthropy like Living Cities and the support of local philanthropies within our community, we can start to create an opportunity where those pilots, the work that either nonprofits or other organizations would want to do that connects to the work that government's doing, they can come together and do that together in a pilot way. And then if it works, it's much easier to sell to government to scale more rapidly and widely. It's a proven concept that is easier for us to invest in and to tell the citizens that this is a good investment and use of your taxpayer dollars. The City Accelerator, Citi Foundation, the support of both of those organizations throughout this cohort, which we were the inaugural one, so it was really fun to sort of be in the plane as it was being built, if you will, have just been phenomenal in terms of their focus within our community in trying to create a lasting structure for innovation and target that work towards our low-income populations. So it wasn't, again, innovation for innovation's sake. It's innovation that is really focused on the core of what only government can do, which in many ways is to help support those who don't often get support from other areas.
I mean, I think what's really interesting about the City Accelerator project for Philadelphia is this is a project that we had been meaning to do and wanting to do for a very long time. But for the call for applications from the City Accelerator and Citigroup Foundation, we may not have gotten to it because there's always a very long list of priorities of things to do. But when we saw this call for applications come out, we said, we know just the thing we've always wanted to do, we've been meaning to do, we've had meetings about, but we really haven't coalesced to form an action plan. And it's because of the impetus and the call for ideas from City Accelerator and Citigroup that we were able to do it. And the added benefit is really working with the other cities, with Nashville, with Louisville, to learn from them about how they're approaching this work, and that better informs the work that we do in Philadelphia.
So Living City and City Accelerator are helpful for the very reasons that I've talked about being helpful within the sphere itself, is to have people who are thought partners, who are talking through what's difficult, who have their own set of experiences of dealing with bureaucratic inertia or obstacles or people who don't want to change, inspiring each other, supporting each other. It's an incredible network of people that have done that, and I think that's the key space that that has happened. It's also been great to have some financial support for some things that are very difficult to justify in a tight budget, but really the network of thinkers coming together and the support around that has been what's crucial.
The actual TA that we're getting from the Engagement Lab and from Citi Foundation is incredible. The way that the thinking that is brought to the table, which is different from the way that, I mean, I'm a social worker, I think like a social worker. My boss has a degree in public policy, she thinks like a public policy person. And to have another type of thinking come in and say like, maybe we make it a game, maybe we do this other thing to engage people, maybe everyone's a co-designer, is so invaluable because it takes us out of, you know, we can do this forever, but it would be the same thing forever unless somebody came in and said like, hey, maybe let's try something totally different. And that is so important.
Just being part of the conversation, having resources where we can ask questions or validating, and just the soundboards that we have and the resources among other cities, it just validates everything that we're thinking, and just sharing those frustrations and learning from one another has been fabulous.
How to really have a successful co-design of solutions. This is something relatively new, so using their expertise and having that technical assistance available is going to be very important to us.
We on the back end are collaborating and then going to the residents. We're not going to the residents concerning a particular issue or development project, but sincerely wanting to know how the residents feel and what their desires are. And we're being completely transparent. We're trying to limit closed-door meetings and let everyone know who's involved, what we're doing, setting clear expectations, and really involving the residents in the process and not coming in afterwards and kind of making them feel like we're doing something to them.
I think the power of a cohort model where you're learning from other cities is really powerful as well. And so it's been a real pleasure to work with Living Cities, with the Citi Foundation, and we'll continue on.